What's happening? What is happening? Woo! Check it out. Check who I got here. Look who's here. It's not Blarf. Recognize this guy?
I am. Blarf is secretly my other build account.
Yeah. We had a last second cancellation, guys. Last second, and I spoke to Nick, and Nick's like, "Hey," he's like, "Yeah, come on, we can do this." So, tell you what, man, that's a hell of a backup plan when you bring N.Devine on. I mean, I'm a lucky guy, Nick. I'm a lucky guy.
Me too. Me too.
Nick, how in the world have you been, man?
I've been great. Yeah, I've been really good. I can't complain at all. I got damn near almost as many people watching me as you do. And
are you on Instagram right now too?
No. I'm talking about you get a good turnout here at this time, a really good turnout. Lots of the times I look, I'm like, wow, that's actually very awesome.
A lot, man. I'll tell you, I've been so lucky with I think it's a bunch of things. And the thing about it is, not only do we get a lot of people that watch the show, but like both of us, we got a lot of good people that watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We don't get any dickheads really, and that's like the best part of it is like I'd much rather have 50 to 70 people of good people than have like 150 of dicks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been really lucky, man. I really have. And I think it's the consistency of the show. Having it every day helps.
Yeah. That only being an hour. Yeah. And also you don't have any there's never any dead air with you, which is a big plus. That you always have either something to talk about or joke about, and that's what keeps people around lots of the time. It's hard. I know when I start fusing long builds that, people go away for a little bit. They'll come back, but, they know that this is the part where he's going to be quiet and I could go step away for a little bit.
Yeah.
But with yours, it's an hour of all action pack.
It's taken me, God, man, it's taken me probably... took me like 8-9 months to like get a routine down to how I wanted to do the show, because there was a lot of days that I would be driving home and I'm sure you do this too. You're like driving home, you're like, what am I going to do tonight? Like, what am I going to do? I got an hour to kill, and a lot of times I would just tell stories and like shit like that. And, that's fun. I think people enjoy it sometimes, but now I got like a routine, it's like every day there's something I do. And I think that what it does for people watching is they're like, well, I don't really like that day, and they just don't watch. And then there's like, well, but I like when he does this on this day, and then they watch that day. So it is, it lets them get their own routine down, so when they want to watch, they can watch. And when they don't, they're like, well, I don't like when he does that, so I just don't watch. So I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about where you've been. So you've passed a year. You're like a year and a half in, right?
Yeah, it's over a year. I can't think of the month.
You started in August, I think, of 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that might be right. Yeah, so yeah, it would probably be a year and a half on YouTube. I did have a channel though. I had a channel for a while with like 5 like little videos with just some of my pictures in it and music, and I had like, I think under 100 people at that point. Mm-hmm. But then when I started coming over, it went up pretty quickly between me being able to push people over from Instagram and also going on Fresh's show, going on everybody's channel. Everybody was really cool when I started. I had a lot of help from people on YouTube and stuff.
I mean, you did the same for me. Like when I started my channel, you were all about pushing people over to my channel, man. It wouldn't. I mean, you, Tommy, Yeti, Nikki, Fresh, all those guys help push people over to me, man. It really helps, And honestly, your channel grew. Your channel grew so fast, it was unbelievable. I mean, you're over 5,000 now.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking people, Nick. That's a big channel.
It's going faster than my Instagram did, which I didn't really expect, but it does pretty good. And I always have my statistics on my YouTube are always up and everything like that. So yeah, and like what you were saying, and you know, what I was saying about helping people out, people helping me and stuff like that. If you get into something like an Instagram or a YouTube, it's always something you should do if you have a big account, is help out, because not only is it the right thing to do and everybody should help each other, but let's just say, you know, let's just say somebody starts out tomorrow and I have them on my channel, and then they grow to have 100,000 people, because there's channels that will get 100,000 in a year. There's just people that do that. Just some people just hit the mark like that. Yeah. It's rough, but there are channels that do it. They'll have just out of nowhere, they'll get a whole bunch of, and then you being related to that channel will help you, and then maybe that person would have you on because you were so nice in the beginning. So
I think it is. It's a lot about building relationships on here, man. And I think it's a lot about building the right relationships too. You know what I mean? Because there's relationships you can build with people on YouTube that, you know, could ultimately be a detriment to you in the long term. But finding people who are good people that you get along with, that you can, you know, help out, they can help you. And that's ultimately how you grow. I mean, you know, if you look at, and I've said this forever, this is nothing new, but if you look at like a lot of the bigger YouTube channels that are in our community, they all work together to help each other's channels grow. And it's really a great idea. And they all trust each other. You know what I mean? They all trust each other. They know nobody's trying to backstab anybody. They're all just working together. And that way all their channels grow at the same time, and it benefits everybody. And, you know, like for you and I, it's a much lesser scale, obviously. We're not pushing 100,000, you know, or 200,000 people. But it's like if they watch my channel, then, you know, maybe they'll catch your channel. If they watch your channel, maybe they'll catch my channel. It's like we do that. Tommy does that. We all do that together to help each other. And, I mean, it's finding that right niche of people that you can be with to help each other. And you never know, man. You never know who's going to be, like, the next, like, big thing on YouTube. And I'll tell anybody, man, who's starting a channel, it's hard. It is hard to get people to sit and watch you. It really is, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from on YouTube, you know.
Yeah, there is so much, especially in the vaping world. There's so much. So there's that, and the best way to just grow a channel is to be active. A video a day is smart to do, at least 3 videos a week. And once that goes down, even YouTube, for people that don't know how YouTube works, when you're not active on a channel, they will unsubscribe you. So if I'm not putting up videos, nobody's watching, they start taking your subs away. So the more so if you were to go over to Homeboy Josh's channel right now, probably not a lot of people unsubscribe to him, because why would you unsubscribe? But his count will definitely be down because there's not as many people active, because there's not as many videos going up. That's just for instance, is just how YouTube works. Is Lifa mentions it all the time. Like, you know, always double check if you're subscribed to somebody if you haven't watched them in a while, because if you're not active, they will take you away from that channel.
I constantly notice my count's bouncing constantly, and I don't know if it has something to do with doing live shows versus doing uploaded videos. I don't know if there's something strike against that, but you know, like it's weird. And I'll tell you what, this is kind of weird, but I subscribe to YouTube Premium, and I'm sure that I'm probably, I don't know if, but ever since I did that, like my counts have been going up, and like I don't know if that means your videos get pushed up higher in the searches now because you're a premium channel, but I know that it seems like I've been looking at my numbers. I'm like, damn, it like started moving up again as soon as I went premium. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
It might. Do you have
YouTube Premium or no?
I believe so. That's like where you get all the apps and stuff.
You get like, and you don't have, you get the music app and you don't have to watch commercials anymore.
Yep.
You just fly right through everything.
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's like $20 it's like $17 a month.
Yes.
I really didn't want to pay for it.
Like that. Shut up.
But I wanted to try it because I was like, turn your mic up, sir. I can do that. How's that? Is that better? How's Nick? How's Nick sound? I got it on 2 different outputs, so I can change his or mine. Or I can do both.
How's my sound?
Sound good? I can put the microphone down by my face. That works. It's because I'm not yelling. That's probably why people are. I had to turn it down because I was yelling too much and it was hurting people's ears, Nick. Hurting people's ears, yeah.
Oh.
Sensitive ears. There's some sensitive ears out there. You never know.
Yeah.
They're always listening.
So before we came on, you said the last thing you said was I don't know, I might be getting old, and I laughed, and I said yeah, and I wasn't saying you were getting old and laughing at you. What I was going to say is yeah, me too. So my phone just rung twice, right?
Yeah.
And apparently I have high blood pressure, so I'm looking at. I never have medical insurance. I don't go to the doctor.
Fuck that shit.
But now I got to get medical insurance.
For your high blood pressure?
Dude, yeah. I looked for medical insurance one night during a UFC, and I get 100 phone calls a day right now.
Yeah.
Just all. Did you ever get phone calls where it says scam likely on your phone?
No, I've never got that, but I wish I could. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Scam likely. That's what it says in the caller ID?
Yeah, it says scam likely, and I guess it's an overseas call or something.
That's awesome. Now, you know, man, I have high blood pressure too, believe it or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
25 years of hard drinking will do that to your body, surprisingly.
Yeah.
That will do that to your body. That's about the but yeah, the other stuff kind of worked its way out since I quit drinking, thank God. Yeah, you got to take medication? Is that what's going on?
I got to get to the doctor and get something for it. It's I was talking to a couple people that have high blood pressure, and when they started telling me what some of the side effects are of it, I was like, oh shit, no wonder. Yeah. So like one is you get headaches, and the other one is it makes you tired.
Yeah.
And this last year, it's just been different. I've just been more tired. And it's not when I'm up doing something, but if I sit down, forget about it. I can't. If I have to do a video one night, I can't go and sit down first. I gotta keep doing something until it's video time.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too. I am like, yeah, and it's kind of weird because the medication side effects are similar. You know, drowsiness, things like that. But it's more. I'll tell you, my blood pressure. I had headaches like you would not believe. Yeah. My headaches were fucking awful. And like I was going into the doctor, my blood pressure was crazy when I was drinking. And now it's 120/80. It's perfect now, but I tell you, it's scary, man. Getting old is scary because you don't think of yourself as old, right? You know what I mean? Like I've accepted that I am, but it's like you don't think of yourself. So when people start telling you take blood pressure medicine, you think, well, yeah, that's for old people. Well, no, you're now old, and that is for you. You know what I mean?
That's exact. And honestly, I could care less. I feel like I could just. I was telling this to somebody. Is I've always been pretty healthy. I've always even when I went to the doctor, when I went to rehab and stuff, the doctor would tell me you're fucking healthy. Like even all your vital signs are good, even though you're in a bad state right now. You're 55 pounds underweight or whatever, but you're all good. So when I got the high blood pressure, I started blaming the machine that they were doing it with. I said, nah, you got to get that machine fixed.
Yeah.
How about this? Get that machine fixed and I'll come back next week. So I came back next week and they said it's a little bit less, but you still got high blood pressure. So basically I could care less. It's when you have a kid or kids, it's like I kind of have to I guess I kind of have to stick around for a little bit.
Yeah. You got responsibilities now, man.
Yeah. Can't even fucking die. Jesus.
Can't even die in peace anymore, man. Mm-hmm. You're fucked.
I can't die. I got too many responsibilities. I can't die this week. Bills are due fucking next week.
All right. Well, so let's have a little builders chat, Nick. What do you say? You want to try a little builders chat?
Yeah.
Let's give the people what they want. People want some builders chat. We're steadily moving up in numbers. Now, I know there is a marathon or a fundraiser for a gentleman out of the UK going on right now. So if you're over here from that, hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining. We'll probably kick you guys back over there as soon as we're done. I know it's a gentleman. I didn't know him. His name was Tony. And I'm not sure of his channel. God, that's horrible. I don't know. But the fundraiser is over on Empire Vape's channel, and I believe it's going on for quite a while tonight. But what they're doing is they're auctioning off things. Then the proceeds are going to go to his wife and family. to cover expenses, trying to bridge that gap before insurance kicks in and they can get some money to help out. So yeah, so if that's coming over, I know that anybody who wants to, I don't know that's going on. It's obviously very important, so I just kind of wanted to mention that. So Nick, if you had to pick now I know what your favorite vape is. Does your favorite vape change, or is it still the same thing as it was before?
I mean, it changes. It changes from time to time, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. So usually everybody that watches me knows that Fralians are usually if somebody asks me best for flavor, I'll say Fralians.
Yeah.
I also like Aliens too, though. So it's almost like a pound for pound thing. Like Aliens are super easy for me to do. I could do them real quick if I'm in a rush and I need something that I'm going to be able to vape for the next 2 weeks and not worry about it, and actually very much so like the vape. Then I'm just going to do a set of 3-core Aliens. If I have a little bit of time and I'm expecting to keep that build in the RDA for a while, I'm going to do Fralians. But Staple Stagger Fuse Claptons and Fralians aren't too far off either.
Do you think it? So have you? Okay, you know that I'm huge on square wire, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
Have you tried the square wire yet?
Yeah, I actually just made a set of square Aliens the other week.
What were your specs?
3.4 in 36.
3.4, 36 on Nichrome 80.
I did 38, I think. I think I did 38. Stainless steel, Nichrome 80 square wire.
So you did stainless steel wrap on the Nichrome 80 square wire. What did you think?
It was all right. It was a lot like a 3-core 26 gauge is what I thought. It definitely didn't last too long. I think that was because of the 38 though.
Yeah, I typically use 36 on mine. I'll tell you, man, I notice a difference, and I think it's just, I don't know if it's the vaping style. I don't know. I know I noticed a difference when I started using a square wire though, and I'll be honest, man, I haven't used ribbon. I can't even tell you last time I used ribbon at all, and I don't know. I'm kind of jonesing because I like stacking ribbon. I like building with it. I feel like I'm pretty damn good at it, and I just haven't used it because I've been stuck on the square wire for so long. I don't know how much longer. It's been about a year now. Well, not a year, but probably at least like 7-8 months. That's all I've been.
Yeah. It seems like I like the smaller ribbon now. It seems like every time I used to use 0.5 ribbon. That used to be all we had.
Yep.
And then when 0.4 came out, I started using that. And 0.4 was tricky after I was using 0.5. It was easier to wrap, but it was harder to stack. And 0.3, forget about it. I was having a lot of problems stacking it. Now, I've only been buying 0.3 ribbon. I bought some 0.4 this last time around just in case. But 0.3 ribbon has been my favorite. I just like how quick it lights up. The flavor's good. It's and the ohms stay down.
So when you say you're using 0.3 ribbon, are you using like 28 gauge frames? Or are you using smaller frames?
28 and 29. So there's 2 Fralians I'll make. I'll make ones that are 0.9 5 wrap or 0.7 4 wrap, and then there's another set that I'll make that's 0.1 ohm.
Okay.
And they're both the same, except one has 28 gauge frames and the other has 29 gauge frames.
Do you notice the? So I'm assuming you're talking about aliens, right? You're talking about Fralians.
Fralians, right. Yeah.
So you don't notice any? You don't notice it trying to collapse on you when you're using 28 gauge frames on the 0.3?
No.
Really? See, I always had. You know what's funny, man, is I started with 0.3. That was all I had, and I used 0.3 for a long, long time. And then I remember watching you, and you were doing and I would do 28.3. That was what I always did, and I would always have trouble with it collapse. Now, granted, it was a while ago. It's over a year ago, and it was like, I wasn't that great at making them, and they would collapse on me. But when I switched to 0.4, because I saw you doing it, and I switched to 0.4, and I made the ribbon taller than the height is bigger than the 28 gauge. It was like magic. And now that's pretty much all I use is 0.4 ribbon. I have 0.3, I just don't really use it. I just don't really use it anymore.
That's the thing, is that 28 and 0.3 are the same size. And if you stretch out the 0.3, then it's going to be smaller than the 28. So
that's one good thing about KP. You don't have to stretch it out. And same with Coil Society, really. You don't have to stretch Coil Society out anymore, man. Their ribbon has gotten a lot better.
Yes, Coil Society. I've always liked their ribbon. Lightning Vapes has gotten a lot better too. I've been ordering Lightning Vapes, and their ribbon has gotten substantially better from what it was.
You know, man, I don't even think about. I haven't used Lightning Vapes. I don't think ever. And it was like they were huge for a while, and then I don't know what happened. But I just don't. I never hear about them anymore.
There was a couple things that happened, and ever since them couple things happened, they kind of changed up and been trying to do better. And yeah, somebody actually told me, you know, you should try it out again because it's definitely different. And I did, and I just ordered for my second time because I did really like how their wire was. It almost seems the same as Coil Society, really. It seems like the same exact thing.
Could be.
So
what do you got moving forward as far as build offs? Are you looking to get into a build off? Or are you still looking at running build offs, or how's that working for you?
A little bit of both. I'm not going to do. I've been thinking about doing a build off soon. I need to make sure that I do a build off that isn't super long, and I need to. I've been trying to do more pre-recorded videos so I could get into the swing of making pre-recorded videos. So when I do a build off, you know, I'm good at doing it. I can knock it out real quick because that's where all the time comes in, really. Yeah. It's doing the pre-recorded videos, finding everybody's pictures, all that. Usually the judges are good. The judges get the scores to me immediately.
Yeah. It's putting the videos together. Like all the editing you do and putting all together with music and all that's got to be a pain in the ass. Putting all the pictures together and stuff like that. Like I watch your videos and I know a little bit about it. I'm like, that's got to be just a pain in the ass to get all that together.
Yeah, it's also something it's also another like hobby. It's also something that can be fun, but it's like just one of them things that I dread up to the point. Yeah. And then when I start doing it, I'm like, you know, this is kind of fun. I don't know why I was dreading all this.
Yeah. What do you use to edit? Are you using Shortcut? Or Shotcut?
So a lot of my videos are edited through my one phone, and that's Project Director. Yeah. And then on my computer, I have Cyberlink. Okay. Yeah, Power Director, Cyberlink Power Director. Actually, it's the same thing on both my phone and this. Yeah.
I'm using Wondershare. I forget what it's called. I can't remember the actual name of it though. It's like Wondershare something. I'm sure somebody out there knows what it is. I haven't used it in so long. I haven't edited a video since I did a review on something. I need to do more reviews, like recorded reviews. I just don't have fucking time, man. I just don't. I mean, it's like the weekends I spend with the family and still, like I've got other stuff going on for the show, and now I got the Patreon going, and the Patreon takes up a lot of time. There's a lot of stuff I'm trying to do for it, and it's just a lot of time, man. And like last night I had a conversation with Veronica, and she's like, you know, you kind of been neglecting all of us. Like you just been doing all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like obligated to do it, and it makes it hard, man. Especially then editing videos is like the last thing on my mind. It's like I got the show. I do a review on Wednesday, so I do one review a week, you know. It's just a lot. It seems like it's a lot. I need to get better at like I think if I was better at the editing thing and it didn't take me 4 hours to edit a video, then I probably and the only way you can get better at it's by doing it. So it's like that double-edged sword. I just got to keep doing it and figure out how to get better at it, you know.
Yeah, there's a couple tricks that you kind of just need money to do, like when somebody like a big reviewer like DJ LSB does a video. Like he has like layouts and stuff where it makes it a lot easier for him to do a video a day.
Yeah.
Because if you could imagine like all that production that goes into his videos, he does one a day. There's, you know, he's to the point where he's clicking one button and doing a lot, you know, because he's been doing it for so long. And
he's got the like a track that he does all his like shots on that rolls with the and all that. Like, I mean, that's way above me. Like I'm basically using a webcam on like an extension arm, like pulling it down for the down low. Like none of that yet. Like a lot of the guys, like once you get up to a certain level, like they're using actual cameras. Like they're not using webcams anymore. They've stepped their game up way past that. And you know, I think that anybody who's never done a review, well, no, let me speak just for myself. I think anybody who's never, before I did a review, I thought they'd be easy. I really did. And I was like, oh, there's got to be nothing to that. Like, I do presentations at work. I do live shows. Like, I can do this. All you got to do is know the product, right? And talk about it. No, it's hard. It's hard. And it's a lot harder than you think it is. And I'll tell you, when you get it all together and you start editing it and looking at it, you're like, wow, this doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to look. And then even to make it just a little bit better is a lot of fucking work, man. It's a lot of work. And so I think once I did one, I had a whole new respect for the guys who were sitting down and doing them every day. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. You know, and then like, oh, forget it. There's been so many times where, especially when I like first started the YouTube and I was making the tutorials. Yeah. Where I would forget like the sound, I would forget to turn the mic on, or I would forget to do, and I would record an entire video, no sound. Or like this last one I did, the last review I did, I had to record the whole down low because I forgot like so many things, and I forgot to say it was like 24 millimeter. There was something like real dumb I forgot to say. Like there was like 3 things that was like, you kind of have to say this with it. So I was like, I got to record this all over.
Yeah, you got to say the dimensions of it. At least like what it'll fit on. You know what I mean? It's like I forget that shit too. The basic shit. And I try to make like an outline before I do the live one. But once you start talking, it's hard to like really pay attention to that, and then you're like out of turn. Like you're bringing up things you've already looked at, like the barrel, and now you're bringing up stuff about the barrel again because you forgot to fucking say it. It's definitely and doing live shows, even doing live shows and staying to a script, it's hard. It really is, and you get better at it the more you do it. I mean, like if you go back and watch some of my first shows, I thought they were fantastic. I go back and look at them now, and they're fucking awful. Like, God, I was fucking like, not saying I'm good now by any means. I still have a ton to learn, but it's like looking at like where I was then, it's like I don't know how anybody sat through one of those fucking shows. I really don't. I mean, especially like how bad the picture was and shit. Oh my God, it's terrible.
I remember, yeah.
I remember when I did the show and I was purple the entire time. Remember that? Night?
Oh yeah. That's when you would start using the OBS, right? And
oh God, dude, and it would shut off. And there was somebody talking the other day about using OBS and having trouble with it, and it was a bigger YouTuber, and I was like, I think it might have been Vic or Grim or somebody like I was talking about. And I'm like, damn, like, yeah, OBS took like 6 months to figure out to get it like tuned in right so that I didn't get a lot of interruptions on my stream. Took like 6 months to like keep messing with it till I finally fucking got it. And like once I got it, I took like 10 pictures of it so I would never lose those settings ever again.
Yeah, I can't. I hate OBS. It's so hard for me to use, especially I can't keep 2 programs open and OBS. Oh yeah. So I hate using it. So I like the Google Hangouts ain't bad if you're just one person. I heard it's fine. I've been liking that, or just going live from Zoom.
I heard that. So I heard a thing that they're not going to let Google Hangouts on anymore, or at least that's what I heard.
I think I heard that too.
That Google Hangouts is going away, which is interesting because Google Hangouts is, YouTube's owned by Google. So maybe they're trying to get. Only thing I can assume by that is they're trying to get licensing money. For you to license, since it's free, they want to make money off of it, and since people are using it, they're like, well, we should be making money off this. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can think is that you're gonna have to pay to use it on YouTube or something. Yeah. But I've seen a lot of people still using it. I mean, I use Zoom. Zoom is a fucking memory hog. I mean, especially with like my green screen going, it is ridiculous how much memory I'm using on this little shitty PC I got.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. It has to be because I don't have many things on this computer, and my computer's always telling me my memory's down.
Yeah. And so I mean, but yeah, anyway, the thing about it is like your show and my show is we both do them by ourselves. I mean, it's, we're one of the few people that actually go live. A lot of people, you go live with like 6 or 7 people, and it's pretty easy. You don't really have to talk that much. You quarterback it a little bit, and this will just let them talk.
Yeah.
But when you're going by yourself, man, it's a whole different animal. It really is.
Yeah, you almost that's why I started doing something like, I've been doing a movie a week, so I have something to talk about that, because you could talk about a movie, but if nobody really watched it or is interested in it, then you're just talking about nonsense.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to give a movie for people to watch so we could talk about something else. And yeah, it's good to just have stuff to say. And as you do it, you start learning a thing that you could talk about. Like, you know, in the beginning of the show, you say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, and you just go in some kind of an order.
That's what, and that's one of my favorite things to do. That's why I haven't, you know, even with as the show's gotten bigger, like I go through a bigger list of names. But that's one of the things that's like my favorite thing to do in the show, is saying hi to people. And then, you know, you kind of fuck with people a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know. People. I hope nobody takes it personally. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, I'm just fucking with. You know, it's just trying to be. You know, trying to make conversation and shit. You know, while I'm sitting here. And that's another thing is you're sitting in quiet. It's quiet. You know, people can hear you and you can hear your voice, obviously, but other than that, it's just you're like talking to yourself, basically. That's one of the things I had to get over doing it. It was like so weird to me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And sometimes you'll say, it's funny because it's the same thing even now. Like sometimes I'll say something and then there's like some kind of awkward silence where I'm just thinking like, I'm fucking just sitting here talking to myself, really, and I just said that? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah, you can't take it back. You can't rewind and be like, I didn't mean that. Hey! Or something slips out, you're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Oops.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, shit, man. So let's see. Does anybody got any, if you want to ask Nick a question, I will quarterback that. I've got the chat up right here on my phone. Feel free to ask Nick a question, preferably not about building. Now, do you have HBO, Nick?
Yes.
Do you watch True Detective?
I watched the first season. I never watched any ones other than that.
Oh. Well, that kills that. True Detective's got a new season on right now, season 3. It's really good. I've been watching it.
I'll have to check it out. I guess somebody told me that the second season wasn't good, so I didn't.
It was different. It was more like a cop drama. It wasn't like the first season of True Detective was like it was spooky because it was dealing with kids getting abducted and like you know, molestation, shit like that. Shit that's really like offsetting, you know what I mean? It just gives you this really creepy feeling. But it was done so well and the acting was so good that it really brought you in. The second one was about more like just shady business practices of a casino. And, you know, dealing with the cops and a shady cop, you know what I mean? And so it was more like just like a cop drama. It wasn't really, you know, and then the third season, this one again, is about a child abduction. And anytime, you know, you bring that into play, it's gripping to me because we all have kids, you know what I mean? And it's like, so you just get really brought into it as, I don't know, it's something, you know, it's concerning and I don't know. I think it's really good though. It's creepy too. This season's acting's been really good.
Who's in it?
You know, the actors in it, I don't know the main character's name, which is terrible. Stephen Dorff is in it. He's the partner of the main character.
I did see the previews for it. Yeah.
And the main detective, I don't know. He's been in some stuff that I've seen before, and I believe he won an Academy Award, so I should know who he is. But I'm just terrible with movies anymore. I don't know who any of the new people are. Like, if you haven't been around since, like, the 90s, I probably don't know who you are. You know what I mean? That's another sign of getting old, by the way.
Yeah. There was a couple people out there that are asking a couple. There was 2 questions I seen. I don't know if anybody asked any more. Somebody asked about the corrugated build. I'll wick that up and vape it tonight. I still haven't vaped it. But I built have you ever vaped a parabolic build, Scott? You know what a parabolic is? A corrugated sitting up though.
Yeah.
And I never vaped one, so I built one the other night so I'd be able to vape it.
Yeah.
And I still haven't vaped it yet.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Looks like it's gonna vape real nice. Oh, you dualed it up, did you?
Yeah.
You showing off right now, Nick? Is you showing off? No, you know, man, I've rarely vaped anything I built. Like anything fancy, I never vaped it. I would just like set it aside, or I'd heat it up and put it away and go back to like Aliens or whatever I was vaping on. I would just stick with that.
I used to vape everything I built. And then when I kind of know how everything's going to vape now for the most part. So I know what builds I'm going to want to vape and what builds I'm not going to want to vape. It's better for me to just keep the coils colored and give them out in a giveaway or something. So somebody could appreciate it, or there's like real, like good ones, any build off ones I keep all in one vial. And then somebody asked, when's Ned coming back? I am actually working on a Ned video. Ned almost came back last weekend with that effing troll that we had. I recorded something and it was pretty bad. So I couldn't put it up.
What happened with the troll, Nick?
I don't want to get too much into it, but basically some guy came on to my channel.
What was his name? Do you recall?
I don't even want to give out the name because I don't want people to go to his thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you off the whatchamacallit.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the reason why he's being a troll is so that I say his name. So
I see. Okay, he's trying to get some fame off of you. I got you.
Yeah. So he came on and he said something negative about somebody, which I also don't want to say that person's name because I don't want to. But he said something negative, and obviously there were 65 people in chat, so other people seen exactly how this all went down.
Yeah.
And what he said, I kind of just let it pass, and then he just started cursing me out.
Cursing you out?
Yeah, so I kicked him off. Now, a couple months before, he did message me about something, basically asking me for free shit.
Oh.
And when he asked me that, I basically said, he said, I watch you a lot. I'd love to get some coils and some juice so I could try them out and do a review and stuff. And then he said something else, and my comment back to him was like, if you watch me a lot, then you know how much I don't like this conversation right now. And he basically kind of left it at that. So then he came on, he did that. And then when Lifa went on last Friday, he said something. I didn't see what he said, but it was something enough to where the Lifa was like, whoa, take it easy. But he said that out loud and kicked him out.
Okay.
And then I seen what people were kind of talking about. And then the guy DMs me. Apparently he lives 20 minutes from me. So I'm like, oh, awesome. Okay. And he's basically threatening me. So we were going back and forth on DM. And well, he was saying stuff to me, and then I would say something like, I would say something like, fuck you, you fucking bitch. And then I would block him on one thing and then go over to something else. And I would say, you can't beat me, you're a fucking loser. And then block him on that. So there was 5 different things that we were like friends on or something that I would go to, say something he would really hate, and then block him. So basically just trolling him back, but so he couldn't make a response. So that's basically how that fucking went.
Wow. That's crazy that you have to deal with that being on YouTube. You have to deal. I haven't had any experiences like that. I have somebody who's apparently doesn't like what I don't know what I did, but somebody apparently doesn't like me, and it just started recently. But I have no clue what I did. And it's funny because as an adult, typically you do something, and they'll talk to you about it and be like, well, I fucking don't like you because you did this. But in this realm, you don't have to do that. You can be anonymous and just be a dick. And even though he has now this person has a YouTube channel?
So, yes, but no content on there.
Okay.
And they have an IG, and, there was stuff I was making fun of on their IG. Anybody that's watched my show, like, sometimes I'll just go off on, like, stuff like I'll follow people. If you're in the vape community, I'll follow you, no problem.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a builder, I'll follow you, no problem.
Yeah.
But like when I go through my thread, and there's a lot of dudes that do this. And they do like these FaceTimes where they have their shirt off and stuff, and they'll do like 3 a day. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna let you have one. Maybe you had something important to say. You just got out of the shower. I'm gonna let you have one. If you're doing this with your shirt off every day, I gotta let you go. So apparently he's one of them guys.
Well, Nick, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Man, I find I follow pretty much anybody. If you follow me on Instagram and I see you have vape stuff on your, I'll follow you back. And I don't get the thing about Stinks is there's a lot of builders that support me that I really try to keep up on what they're doing building wise. Now I follow so many people that it's hard to do that sometimes, and you know, so I may like unfollow somebody if they've got a lot of content that I see a lot of like giveaway stuff. I may unfollow them. The live thing, like I get really interested by people who do funny lives. And what I mean by funny lives is funny to me. It may not be funny to anybody else. And like, so I see a guy with his shirt off doing a live, I'll watch it. I think it's funny. And especially, I like when people do lives and yell at other people. I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
And I typically try to stay in tune with those. And so I won't unfollow them. And typically there'll be ones I'll be looking for. If they're live, I'll watch, because if they have their shirt off and they're yelling at somebody, that to me is just icing on the cake. That's like a really good live, and I'll sit and watch that and get great entertainment from it. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
See, I don't get a lot of trolls. I'll get like the trolls that are obviously just internet trolls. They're going to a bunch of channels. It's very rare where you'll get one in the vape community. It's super rare that you'll get somebody that, and that's kind of what made me mad about it, is one of the things. Another thing is like, I won't deal with trolls, and I've said this on my channel before, because I'm just the kind of person that, you know, it's stupid. And at the end of the day, I know what kind of person you are. Let me just put it this way. If you're like, he was acting very tough. Let's think about this right now. Yeah. If you're really a tough guy, you're a confident guy. If you're a confident guy, you're not on the internet trolling people. That's not what people like that do. Typically. They're usually quiet. They're usually pretty they think well about themselves. And when they think well about themselves, they treat other people correctly.
Absolutely.
They don't go about trolling. So my whole thing with the whole trolling thing is I could go back and forth with you. At the end of the day, if you're really being a dick, I want to put my hands around your neck. So when you tell me you live 20 minutes away, awesome. Then we could start talking, because I could actually put my hands around your neck probably. But if you're miles away, this is no possibility. So I'm just going to time me out or whatever.
Yeah, man, I would certainly like the video rights of that if possible. I'd love to broadcast that if you could somehow work that out. I can MMA that. I could be the announcer. I've got I could call the fight. I could do that. I honestly, it's neither here nor there to me. One thing that I do have that I'd like to talk to you about is my chat pretty much trolls me, Nick. I don't know if you noticed that. The regulars are here to troll me. That's and so like when you come into my chat and you're going to try to troll me, you really have there's a high standard of trolling that goes on in my chat that it's hard to meet. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's kind of like, I think the people who watch me are kind of like, I'm kind of like, they'll troll me and it's okay for them to do it. But if somebody comes in and does it, they don't like that. They're like, oh no, fuck you. You haven't earned that yet. Like I've been around for like a year. I get to troll him, you don't, and they just kick him out. So that's typically what, I don't know if that pisses people off, but I've never responded to one. And I've seen stuff, like I don't watch the chat enough to really know, but I have seen some things come at me and like, you're fucking stupid or you're an idiot. And I'm like, I fucking know this. I already know everything you're telling me. Like there's nothing about me that you can say that I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much right. But like, I just don't respond to it. I just pretty much ignore it. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. But your chat does troll. I think the moment you say something degrading about yourself, they all jump on it. And that gives them a ticket to say it.
Yeah, it does. It does. And you know what? It's like one of those things. Like I think one of the keys to my life and my recovery, and especially if you like knew my household and everything, I can't take myself seriously. I really can't.
You got a good sense of humor, and everybody picks up on that.
I have to be, I've learned through the years is like, taking yourself seriously is a lot of fucking work, Nick. You know this. And you've got a great sense of humor too, and so you know what I'm saying here. Like, guys who like really take themselves seriously and do live broadcast on YouTube, you're begging for it. You're begging to get fucked with. Because people see that and they think it's funny to fuck with you. You know what I mean? So I try, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? I want to be the guy who can take a joke and like roll with shit, because the other side of that, like you watch some people that are like, and I'm not saying the vape community, I'm just saying on YouTube in general, that are real serious and like, you know, tough and like that, and they just get destroyed. They just get fucking destroyed because people love fucking with them. So.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, social media and all this, because and especially it is kind of weird what you fall into. I mean, it's something I think about all the time. Just the shit that you get into, especially being our age. Even when I was younger, I mean, we ain't too far off in age. But for instance, this stuff wasn't around. This internet and talking like this. No. It was more everybody's outside, and just about everybody in the chat is the same way too. Yeah. This wasn't around, and it's just weird what you fall into, and different kind of communities and way people talk are set up, and you know, you get it. Like when people are messing with you in chat, it's all in love, it's all in good fun. But
I never take anything personally.
Yeah.
And if I do, like, I have had conversations with people, like, yo, what the fuck, like that, like take it easy on that, like that. You're like I don't want, like I don't like that. But it's very few and far between. And it hasn't happened in a long time. It hasn't happened. It's you know, is this something, you know? And I think it's best to just talk to them about it. Be like, yo, fuck, you're like, but you know, when you make fun of yourself and you have that type of personality, people, you know, they take it any way they possibly can, and it's not their fault that they say something, you know, that may be kind of out of line. You're like, you just got to say, hey, man, you know, easy with that. You know what I mean? There's certain things that I won't allow. You know, I don't want to hear, obviously. You know, and they're not about me. Like, I'd give a fuck anybody to say anything about me. Once you start getting personal about family stuff, it's like, you know, that's not stuff I'm going to stand for. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when you got to be like, oh, hold it down. Like, we're not going to go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's like a couple things that trolls usually will get on my nerves about. That's coming in saying anything racist, you got to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's fucking ridiculous.
And then coming in and talking personally negatively about somebody that's not there. Which is exactly what happened with this one. Is like you know, you came into a chat talking shit about somebody that everybody knows, but that person wasn't here. Yeah. And it's like,
and you know, it's typically the people they talk shit about are the people that do the most for the community. And then it's like, well, what have you done for the community? And
it comes
like, and they're like, well, I haven't, you know, you haven't done anything really. But yeah, you feel like you have the, you know, that you're obliged to go ahead and fucking talk about them. Well, dude, no, not on my channel. I can do it, you know, because remember, Nick, whose show this is, right?
Yeah, my show.
It's my show.
Yeah, it's, you know, try to be an asset to the community. Don't be a fucking liability. But yeah, I mean, most of it all comes from, especially when you're talking about people hating on anybody. Like, I mean, there's certain reviewers who, they go on friction, and you know they'll accept drama and stuff. And trolls in that case, you could kind of see why they would come in. But if there's somebody that's like a nice reviewer, like a Grim Green or a DJ LSB, and they're getting trolled, that all comes from a place of jealousy. It's all from jealousy. There's no other way to explain it other than, you know, you're not. It's an insecure thing, really.
There's some truth in that. Absolutely, absolutely. I try not to even get involved. I think that, you know, we have the luxury that we can wrap, you know, at least I'll speak for me. I can pretty decently wrap wire around wire. I'm pretty decent at it, and I can do it live, so people can watch me do it. And you know, I think that takes us out of the category of a lot of where a lot of the other drama lays and the other types of other parts of our community, because there's a lot of competition in that. And that's one thing about, like, you know, I'm not in competition with Nick at all. Nick's better than me. He's better than me. I'm not in competition with him. He's at a different level than I am. And like, so there's no friction. Like, we're not, but I think saying that, I think that even people that are on your level, they're not in competition with you. They're trying to help. They're trying to do the best they can. That's the difference between the builders sector of this community and other communities where there's money at stake, because there's really no money at stake between us. You know what I mean?
No.
But with reviewing and stuff, there is money, and I think it does breed some sort of, you know, negative feelings, and in a lot of cases, jealousy, like you say, because, you know, they're dealing with money and people paying to do things, and we're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's such thing as like healthy competition and negative competition.
Right.
Most of this country was built on competition, but there's a good way to go about it, you know, a fun little build off or, you know, anything. I mean, there's lots of competition that's good, but there's also very negative competition. It doesn't have to be, nobody's feeding their family here, basically.
Yeah. So, okay, so talking about build off. So we did, you know, I'm glad we kind of touched on that. You know, I think, you know, and I think honestly, as far as like being trolled and things like that, you and I don't get trolled near as much as a lot of the other guys do. You know, and I try to keep it that way. Like I try not to, I don't want to piss anybody off, man. And it's better for me a lot of times just to end a relationship with somebody than to keep going. I just don't want to deal with it. You know, I mean, I do this for fun. It's a hobby. You know, I'm not trying to get stress from it. I got enough stress when I walk up those steps having to deal with. I got like 5 women in my house. You know how much stress that is, Nick? 5 women in your house. It's a lot of fucking stress. So I was going to ask you, so a build-off question for you. Now, if you had to go into a final right now, final of a build-off, you know, everything else just, you know, take all the variables out of the equation. It's just you and another guy. Who would you not want to go against? Who's the person? Well, I shouldn't say it that way because there's nobody, I doubt there's anybody that you wouldn't want to go against because it's fun and you'd like to try. But who would be your strongest competition? Who's the one person you're like, if you saw your name in the bracket versus them, you'd be like, uh-oh, this is going to be tough.
First person that comes to mind is Space Coils.
Yeah.
That's the first one that comes to mind.
Okay.
That one, I almost feel like, Space Coils comes to mind. So there's a thing with build-offs, isn't there? There's people that are very clean, and then there's people that are very creative.
Yep.
So it also depends on the judges you get.
And the photography counts a ton.
Yeah. So let's say, man, it would be, I could think of a couple more. Manipulated Metals is a really good fucking builder, too.
Derek is amazing.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. There's so many that I would not like to go up against. But Space Coils is definitely one that I think of very first. Of course, there's Mindforge. There's Build Lab. There's a lot of them that just haven't been building a lot, so it's hard for me to pick because I'm looking at pictures every day. So the pictures that I see are the first names that are coming up. You know, Builds by Talion is very good. Richie Oliver would be, that would be.
I was going to ask you. So, do you think now? I'm going to tell you this straight up. So, you allowed me to judge a couple of your competitions, which I'm really thankful for, and I do my best. You know, I do. Like, I take it really seriously, and I like get out a spreadsheet and like figure everything out, like because I don't want to do them injustice or you injustice by judging. But that being said, I don't think anybody could have beat Richie Oliver's first entry into your build off. The first one he put in, it was a hybrid. And I can't remember the exact specs on it, but it's honestly, I like literally my jaw dropped when I saw it. I was like, nobody's beating this build. That thing was fucking amazing, man. Do you remember? Yeah. I know you know the one I'm talking about. Yeah,
the big inside diameter one, I believe.
He did 22 gauge, I think, was the inside diameter of it.
Yeah.
And he put it in, it barely fit into the, he had it in the, whatchamacallit, RDA.
Death Trap,
Trap, 30 mil.
Yeah. Yeah, he, another thing about Richie when he does crazy stuff like that is Richie's very, very clean.
Yeah.
Everything's just so clean. You can't find no mistakes in it. No. Richie is definitely like one of my all-time favorite builders. Even when I started, like I learned how to do aliens off of a video that he did.
Yeah.
Richie's a big asset to the build community.
And just a super guy, like one of the friendliest guys. Humble.
All the big builders will tell you that Richie Oliver is one of their favorites. Twisted Messes will tell you that.
Yeah.
Homeboy OC will tell you that. Blue Eye Goon will tell you that. Squid Dude will tell you that. They'll all tell you that. Richie Oliver is the man.
Yeah, he is. I'll tell you, man, that build that he did for you, honestly, I don't know. And there was a lot of great builds. All tiers. I remember, you know, and I don't know if I'm, but like the tier 2, like tier 2 were like whole, like it was like a fucking, it was like a massacre. Like they were all so good. It was like, which one do you, like this tier 2, that was so hard to judge who was the best out of all those. They were all amazing builds. And I'm thinking, these guys are not tier 2. These guys should be tier 1. Like they all need to move up because I don't think I could beat any of these guys.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome, man. That was an awesome build off. Tier 1 was amazing. That was great how you did it with the tiers and everything. It just, you know, kind of allowed a little bit of equal competition. And yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. I think a lot of people had fun
that
with
tier 2 was rough. I do remember giving that to the judges, and everybody was like,
Yeah. And we had that chat, and I was like, how the fuck are we finding it? What the fuck? Like, they're all so good. And then the Adore build off, man. The whole thing that you and Dom put on and was absolutely amazing, man. A lot of people got involved.
Yeah. We got to do that again.
The one-on-one competition was such a cool thing to do, man. It really was.
The next build off I think I'd like to do, I would definitely like to knock it out in one round. And just so everybody knows, Scott did beat me in a Speed Alien on, whose channel did we do that on?
Speed. Tommy's. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Speed Alien.
Yeah, we got like the decors ready or something like that.
We had our decors ready. We had to. No, I think we had it. We had something already done. I can't remember what it was. But we did something. And I remember Drew wouldn't shut up. Like I was like, Drew, shut up, so he could start. What, man? I got to get everything ready. I love Drew. I got to get everything ready. I'm like, dude, seriously, I'm going to kill you if you don't hurry.
Hey, what was I? Oh yeah, so a build off idea I had so I could get it all done in one round was have builders submit 3 builds. You have like, you know, a couple weeks to do it. Submit 3 builds, like 1 staggered, 1 alien, and 1 you know, just whatever you want.
Honey.
So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We gotta work on our basement tonight. It's literally getting down to like -15 today, so I gotta figure out how to turn all my water off so that nothing freezes. It's gonna be awful tomorrow. All right, man. Well, hey, dude, we made it through the hour. Thank you so much. That went quick, Nick. Just sitting here bullshitting. Really just like just having a conversation, just hanging out.
Yeah. We'll definitely do it again. I'll send you the coils and I'll come on again. And if any other builder drops, I'm not always here at this time, but if I am, I would definitely come on again.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. You have a standing invitation. Anytime that you want to come on, if you got anything you want to talk about, just let me know. And I'll fit you in somewhere, somehow. We'll get you on here, okay?
Yep. Cool.
Awesome, brother. All right, guys. Hey, thanks, everybody, for watching. It's Tuesday. Nick, you're live tonight, right?
7 o'clock in an hour, I'll be live.
Awesome, man. I'll be there. So we got Nick live tonight. We got, I believe, Project Fog. Is it Project Fog on tonight? 7:30-ish, 9 o'clock?
It should be on at 9.
9
it's
o'clock.
Probably on Fresh's channel, yeah.
Okay. And we got, I'm trying to think of who else is on tonight. ST's on tonight, I believe. Oh, I got people coming down, so I better hurry up. Got people yelling around me. All right, guys, have a fantastic night. If you are in recovery, stay strong. I promise I will too. I will see you tomorrow on the Vape at 5. We're doing the review of the Ardent RDA. See you tomorrow, guys. Have a